It's some 45 minutes after 7 here on the AM show. We've got a parent joining us. We're talking about the basic education certificate examinations, which is beginning today across the country. But the question we're asking is, what kind of support can parents give to their children who are writing these exams? If you're a parent, you're watching, I would love to hear from you. So send me a WhatsApp message or a regular text message. But fortunately for us, here in the studio, we've got a parent, Vivian Amperi joins us. We want to get a little apport from her. Good morning to you.
Vivian, good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. But this is your third child writing
Yes.
the BECE.
Yeah.
So you're very experienced in this field.
Yes.
But how does it feel like? Because this is a child's major examination. Okay. So how do you help as a parent with preparation?
Okay. As a parent and a mother of 4, this is our third, should I say, our third time to face the BECE.
Okay.
My child, because his elder siblings have already been through it, he's cool with it. And we started preparing for 6 months ago.
Okay.
So since we have past questions there, I always encourage him. When he comes from school, we talk about the day's activity. And then I sit with him, we go through his assignment. And as I've already said, because we have past questions, we sit and like mommy and son sitting at the study room, discussing questions. Oh, please pick this, work through it and see if you'll be able to make it. Then mommy at a point in time will become an examiner in quotes, try to mark it. And so, please, you didn't do well here. Pick it up, you can do it better the next time. So the next time when we pick it, it's like, he's already cool with it.
Okay.
So it's going to be like the normal thing that mommy does it with him in the house. But this time, it's under a lot of supervisors will be around. So it's going to be a little different, but not too different.
We will come to the placement of schools because that has also delayed. We want to get your experience. But after, so when he writes, because this is day 1, there will be another paper tomorrow. What kind of routine would you say a child should go through in preparation for the following day's paper?
I would say the moment you finish with one paper, you just forget about it. Because whatever you've done is gone. So you focus, no reference. You focus on the following day 1. And I've told him that, Charlie, when you finish with the paper, don't discuss it with your friends. For all you know, what you have shaded or what you have written is the right one. But you go and listen to somebody and the person will tell you something else. So it will make you confused, stressed up and the rest. So you should just forget about it. And he should believe that what he has written is the correct one and focus on the following day's one. So that has been
nice advice. Nice advice. Because, you know, Roland, I remember, you know, like would group and then you'll be going through and sometimes another child will make you feel like what you have done really was all wrong.
Yes.
And because all of you really don't know what the outcome would be. It's just the vim that the person is telling you. So that's good advice for anybody whose child is writing. But when the child gets home, what happens?
Oh, when he gets home, he relaxes, he has to refresh. And if possible, have some siesta. Just sleep for 1 hour or 2, have dinner, and then we start again. At least 2 hours, we go over the past questions as usual. He sleeps early, wakes up early. You know, early morning revision helps a lot. So early morning, around 5. For instance, today I woke him up around 5 to learn.
Okay.
In fact, he got up around 4:30, had his shower and the rest. And then between 5 and 6, he was going over today's paper. So I know.
Was he tensed?
No. You know, we've been doing it, practicing it in the house. So it's like the normal thing. So.
But for you as a parent, why is it important that you have to take your child through this? Making sure you prep them up psychologically and also get involved in the daily chore of supervising them and reminding them to do this or read this or work this math.
As a parent, I believe the children are our future. We are all struggling with a common aim to build our children for the future. And I believe in we investing in our children. And as you've invested in a child, your aim is that the child will come out good. You don't want the child to be a burden on society. So that has been my aim since day one, that I have to make sure my children come up well.
Yeah. That's nice. Let's read some of your messages. Emmanuel is in Banana Inn. Emmanuel sends us a message. Emmanuel says, BECE school selection delay. This is the first time students will be selecting schools after finishing their final exams. I'm worried. Government wants to make sure more of the students are made day students. Emmanuel in Banana Inn. That's your message to us this morning. This is Sule in Sunyai. Sule, what you're talking about has nothing to do with what we are discussing, so we have to keep it somewhere and come back to it a bit later. This is on our conversation with Abby Bright, so we'll come back to messages that you sent during that time, as well as we're speaking to Abby Bright on June 4. We're now taking messages on BECE. So if you're a parent, you're watching us, you have something to say, just share it with us. Here's one that says, wishing the first batch BECE candidate, Totibo DA Basic School, good luck. It's from CY, who is the head teacher in that school. Okay, just one more, Roland. This one says, when I was a child, I used to think, hey, okay, no, we'll come back to this message. Roland, this is a message to you, but we'll come back to it. Send us messages if you're a parent and your child is writing the BECE. Share experiences with us this morning on the show. We've got Auntie Vivian, whose child is writing the BECE, but this is her third child. Let's jump onto the issue of school selection. How does a parent, what's your role when your child is selecting schools?
In fact, you have to look at your child capability. You need to, as a parent, you know the strength of your child. So if, for instance, your child, somebody has even polluted your child mind, go and do science, go and do this, and you yourself, you know that your child is not good in that field. You don't need to select those kind of, you need to look at your child and select what your child can do.
Okay.
You don't need to force your child because somebody's child is a doctor or something. You also want your child to, no, you look at the child's strength. And when it comes to the school selection, if your child is not an A student, you don't need to force yourself that my child will have to go to an A school. In that case, you know the results will not even push your child there. So you look at the child's strength.
So be honest with yourself and with your child.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You don't have to follow what others are doing. No.
Okay, but the child too may have a certain mindset. You know, these days about how we're taught as parents to bring up children in a way that we also take into cognizance what their own viewpoints are.
Yeah.
Do you take that into consideration? Yes,
you sit with your child and then you have to even start this, not when the child is about school selection. You start it early. So you know your child's strength. Oh, you can do this, you can do that. You get it. It should be a discussion form. It shouldn't be like you imposing something on your child.
Okay.
You just have to direct your child. That's all.
I see. But we know that trying to prepare parents, students, and even from the point of view of the school, is some cost. But you had been paying some school fees and some baggage of cost along the line as far as the upkeep is concerned. Usually at this time of the year, 6 months prior, in your case, what cost usually is involved for you? Not necessarily per mentioning sums. It means that you have to pay extra classes, or you have to. I mean,
in fact, if you want the best for your child, it goes with cost. For instance, those subjects, French, for instance, I can't help my child in French, so I had to look around for a tutor to take care of my child in French. But the rest that I can do, I've been helping him, and I'm in good relationship with the teachers. So I get in touch with the teacher, please, what are you people doing this week? So at every point in time, I make sure my child is ahead. I've bought the textbook for my child, so we go through the textbooks too. So getting your child prepared, it goes with cost, which you need to. If you want the best, you have to spend.
Ronald, let me just, before you go on, let me just announce the phone lines. You can give us a call real quick with just 5 minutes on this. 0302-211-6910. 0302-211-6910. Perhaps you're a head teacher, a headmaster, or a headmistress of a facility, and you want to take an opportunity to speak to parents within the week that their children are sitting for their first major examination, really, in life. The BECE, you can give us a call, a quick one, 0302-211-6910, Roland.
But it means that you also need to collaborate well with the teachers in the school that he or she goes. What sort of collaboration is there? How strong is that?
Okay. I have, in fact, you need to get to know your child's teacher. That's the best thing to do. So any class that he goes, we have this open day. You go and sit with the teacher to discuss things, your child's performance and progress. And mostly when I go, maybe going to pick him or dropping him, I'll get closer to the teacher. Some 10 minutes. How is my child performing? Is he working well? This week, what subject or topic are you doing? So when I get home, I prepare my child for the day, for the following day. We go through at least, this is the topic that you're going to do today. So let's read through it. Then when he gets to school, it becomes easy for him. And the relationship, it's all about the relationship between you and the teacher. And it's been good so far. When you approach the teacher, you need to approach the teacher. If you don't approach, no teacher will come to you. You have to go to the teacher.
All right. Can I read some more messages?
Yeah, you can.
Go on. All right. This one says, what my late grandmother did for me was helping me with prayers. And after day one, she told me to focus on the next paper. I was so sad after the science paper. And she just said to me, Kojo, you're good than who you think you are. This was 2005. I still remember this. Wishing my sister Sylvian Obeng of Risk School at Wasa Ekropoints from Kojo Ampong in Wasa Amemfi. Kojo, thank you very much for this message that you've sent. More messages will come to that in a bit. But Abdulaziz is in Kukwom and he's joining us via phone. Abdulaziz, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
I hope you're well. Kindly speak up a bit for us.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, please, let's hear you.
I'm going to my Henry. Example district. I wish them very well. Especially my brother Abdul Rashid, who is actively participating in cities. I wish them good luck.
Okay.
And I hope they will come out flying colors.
All right. Abdulaziz in Kokom, thank you very much. Here's another message says, I believe students selecting schools after the exams is the best because they would have a general idea of their performance and will keep that in mind in choosing what they will be doing at the SHS level, whether it's the schools of choice or course of choice. It's from Ni in Koforidua. Turning something really that looks negative into a positive. I haven't thought of it that way, but you make so much sense with your comments. This one says, good morning. I think selection of schools after the paper is not the intention of WAEC, but I think it's even better that way because the child can now assess what he has written, grade him or herself to know which school his or her performance can take her. That's Sami in Akosombo sending this message. And here's one that says, I wanted you to find out if the BECE questions as stated by the PRO of GES is true. She says that the questions are different among the students. What's the objectives? Okay. This one says, good morning. I believe BECE is the most difficult exams for any student simply because it's the first formal exams in his or her academic career. But in all things, my siblings should know that many are the plans of men, but it is the counsel of God that shall stand. No fears. Good luck is from Sikasem in Takrade. Let's speak to Martin. Ajiraku in Jasekang. Martin, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Let's hear you, Martin.
It's been a long time.
Yes, me, I've been here.
Yeah, I'm 20 years now after BECE.
Oh, 20?
Yeah, 98 batch.
Okay.
And we are happy to write. We spent the 2.5 years in a JS, 2.5 years in a SHS. And so it has been very tough after a short period of SSC and BECE. So I wish my young ones today that I wish them the best of luck, to be very studious, very steady, and do everything as the thought that they said, and they will go through the science.
Okay. Martin, do you have a sibling or somebody you know who is writing the BECE, for example?
Yeah, I have my auntie's daughter at the
Great. Now the conversation we're having this morning is about how parents or guardians or those in the communities tend to prepare the students adequately. Do you know how this ward of yours has been prepared?
Yeah, you know, I'm good in French. I'm very good in French. And I guide my siblings towards the French paper and math. So based on me, in my house, because the children are studying, they are studying in their houses very well. They are making sure they don't go knocking around sleeping anyhow. So they are first take the BECE. That's great.
Okay. Bon.
Yeah.
Bon in French means what?
Thank you, Martin. That's okay, fine. Thank you, Martin in Jessica. Thanks for sharing. Here's another message. Says, I wish all the BECE candidates in the Sinafo South District. Shout out to my brother Rashid, a candidate at Yanchi Basic School. But I wonder how schools are to be selected after exams. Abdulaziz inside Kukukum. Sending this message. Is this him?
Yeah, I think it's the same person who called.
Okay, so you're calling and you're texting and it's all good. Thank you very much. We have to wrap up shortly in the studio. Auntie Vivian would leave us. We appreciate that you took time off to be here. Somebody mentioned prayers and it's a big deal. So how much of it have you done so far and continue to do?
Okay. You know, after everything you've prepared your word very well, but anything at all can happen. So prayers is the number one. God should help all those children who are writing their exams. He should give them good health and retentive memory so that at least they will be able to write and pass. And we also commit the markers into God's own hands. After they have finished with their work, their part, it's left with the examiners to also mark. So it's our prayer that God will be with them too, so that they will mark and mark it well.
Okay. So far, the other siblings, did they get their schools of choice? Did they do very well in the examination?
They did.
Okay. So they're all going to the same school?
No.
No, different schools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, just before we go, what does a parent do for a child after the exams?
In fact, even before the exams, you promise your child that if you are able to do well.
That's the motivation. The incentive.
What do you want? If the child tells you, that's an agreement between you and the child.
Okay.
So you make sure you also fulfill your part of the agreement.
Nice.
And in that case, because this is the first one, and the child is going to write another one. So if you don't fulfill your promise, it means you've disappointed your child, and your child will not.
So you've made a promise?
Yes.
Okay. We'll hold you to it.
No.
Sure, he said he wanted a tablet or something like that.
As if you know.
Or a laptop.
Thank you, Auntie Vivian, for passing through and for sharing with us. We thank you as well.